Hey everyone, it's January 2026, and I want to talk about Hedera Hashgraph, a token that became one of the main topics at Davos this January. Yes, right there, where world leaders discuss the future of real-world asset tokenization, Hedera found itself at the epicenter of the conversation. Quick situation summary: HBAR is trading today around 0.107, lost over 10% in the last week, and technical indicators are screaming about a risk of further 20% decline. But at the same time, the network is processing record-breaking 1.5+ million transactions per day. How is this possible? Let's figure it out, starting with what happened at Davos. Davos 2026. Hedera at the center of global agenda. Here's what really matters. Hedera became one of the key topics at Davos in January 2026. Why? Because the entire world was discussing the tokenization of real-world assets, and Hedera ended up right in the middle of this conversation. What happened at Davos? First, Hedera signed a major deal with McLaren F1 right on the sidelines of the Economic Forum. Imagine that. And Phone Team, a premium brand, choosing Hedera for their blockchain initiatives. This isn't just sponsorship, it's a signal to the market that Hedera is perceived as a serious enterprise platform. Second, the Davos focus on tokenization played directly into Hedera's hands. When world leaders and CEOs discussed how to tokenize assets from real estate to currency reserves, Hedera was mentioned as one of the few networks already ready for large-scale enterprise adoption. The network processes over 10, 0 TPS with low fees, exactly what large corporations need. ESG agenda and carbon neutrality. At Davos, as you know, huge attention is paid to ESG, environmental, social, governance. Hedera is in a winning position here. The network is carbon neutral. This isn't just words, it's a verified fact that's critical for corporate clients, especially in Europe and among global companies. The Guardian platform for sustainable development is integrated with the UNDP National Carbon Registry. This gives Hedera a unique competitive advantage in a world where the green agenda is becoming mandatory. Current market situation. Why is the price falling? Now, let's get back to the current market situation. Why is the price falling if Davos showed such interest? Main technical signals. Look, if you've been following HBAR, you know the last few weeks have been tough. The price is stuck in the 0.13 range, and here are the key levels to watch right now. Critical support. 0.102. If this level is broken, the next stop will be at 0.08. This is no joke. This is a real risk confirmed by technical analysis. What are the indicators saying? Fear. Greed index shows 20 points. That's extreme fear, meaning maximum panic. You know what this means? Most retail investors are panic selling. Money flow index MFI below 50. This signals capital outflow from the asset. Liquidation risks. If the price breaks 0.114, long positions worth 1.07 million will be liquidated. And if it drops below 0.112 over 2 million, network flows. Despite the price drop, there are positive outflows from exchanges 1.6 million, leaving centralized platforms. This means the big players, the whales, are buying the dip. This is an important signal. Short-term forecasts. According to forecasts, today, January 27, the price could rise by 0.71% to 0.1079. Tomorrow, growth of 0.81% is expected. By January 29, already 2.66% to 0.111. And the most optimistic forecast from analysts target of 0.16 by the end of January. It's important to understand, the 0.16 forecast is an optimistic scenario. To achieve it, the resistance at 0.12 needs to be broken. If this doesn't happen, we're looking at a test of 0.1 and below. Main catalyst: Grayscale HBAR ETF. Here's what could really change the game for HBAR: the SEC's decision on Grayscale's application to create the first spot HBAR ETF in the US. And yes, this was also actively discussed at Davos. When is the decision? The final deadline is November 12, 2025. Yes, that's already in the past, and we're all waiting for the announcement. If the SEC approves, it will be a historic event. The first regulated spot ETF on an altcoin in the US. What has Hedera Foundation already done? They're not sitting idle. Understanding the importance of this event, the foundation transferred 250 million HBAR to a special account for managing staking rewards. This reduces liquid supply. Canary Capital has already accumulated 1.1% of all HBAR in anticipation of approval. The network is fully prepared for institutional inflows, carbon neutrality, transparent council governance, all of which regulators like. If the ETF is approved, it could become a catalyst for growth to 0.25, 0.35, but if rejected, we're looking at a serious drop. Technological achievements. Why this matters. Here's the paradox. While the price is falling, the network is developing at an incredible pace. These aren't just empty words, here are the facts. HIP 551. Batch Transactions Revolution. Hedera introduced update HIP 551, which allows developers to execute multiple operations in a single transaction. Imagine token creation, transfer, management all at once. This radically increases efficiency and reduces costs. Major integrations. The network is integrating with leading platforms. MetaMask now. HBAR is available to millions of MetaMask users. Google Cloud BigQuery Hedera data is now in BigQuery, increasing transparency. Wrapped BTC partnership with BitGo and Layer 0, open access to WBTC. ERC 3643 support for asset tokenization standards. Economic model, 800% fee increase. Know what's interesting? The network increased fees by 800% for consensus submit message. And what happened? Speculative volume decreased, but revenue increased. This shows that real usage by corporate clients compensates for speculation. The network is generating real revenue. Corporate partnerships. Real-world adoption. These aren't just promises. These are real deals with Fortune 500 companies, many of which were announced or discussed at Davos. Key partnerships. McLaren F1 the agreement increases Hedera's visibility in the premium segment, announced at Davos. Americatwo 150 U.S. National Archival Project. Imagine, Hedera is being used to store historical data. Shinhan Bank and SCB Tech X successful completion of POC for stablecoin remittances. Archax and Lloyd's banking group tokenized £10 billion in FX collateral on Hedera, which caused a 49% HBAR spike in September 2025. Tata Communications implementing Hedera for billing and asset tokenization. Analytical forecasts. What's in store for HBAR in 2026? Scenarios for this year. Let's look at analyst forecasts. Optimistic scenario. Target of 0.16 by end of January. To achieve this, 0.12 needs to be broken. Base scenario for 2026. Range of 0.18, 0.2. This is realistic given current network development. Bearish scenario. If 0.102 is broken, decline to 0.08, 0.1. Long-term forecast until 2030. target of 0.5 with successful large-scale adoption. Key success factors in 2026. For HBAR to grow, it needs launch of a live stablecoin on Hedera, large-scale identity projects, DeFi ecosystem expansion, DeFi share drop from 83% to 67%, diversification is needed. Risks. What could go wrong? I won't lie to you, the risks are serious. Technical risks. Head and shoulders pattern is formed, and if 0.102 is broken, target 0.08. Death cross on the chart when the short moving average crosses the long one from above. Liquidations. If price drops below 0.112, liquidation of 2 million in long positions. Regulatory risks. ETF rejection, this is the main risk. If the SEC denies, the price could collapse. Competition, other enterprise blockchains are strengthening. Regulatory uncertainty, changes in U.S. legislation could impact conclusions and what to do. Friends, Hedera is at a turning point. The price is falling, but the network is growing. This isn't a speculative token without fundamentals. It's a working network with Fortune 500 partners. Key levels to monitor. Support 0.102 if broken. We're looking at the 0.08. Resistance 0.12 breaking, it opens the way to 0.16. My take. If you believe in the technology and long-term adoption, current levels are interesting for DCA, dollar cost averaging. But consider the risks. The bearish trend is strong, and without the ETF catalyst, growth will be limited. Main advice. Watch for the SEC decision. This could be the very catalyst that flips the game for HBAR. And remember, Davos showed that Hedera is at the center of the tokenization agenda. The only question is when the market will appreciate it. Be careful. Manage your risks, and don't forget to do your own analysis. Good luck in trading and investing.